This is my friend Alex. We're trying to take our first real trip together in nearly 25 years. But now the whole plan is hanging on to whether we can finish this truck in time. Last episode we pushed harder than ever. We got the frame rebuilt, the axles under it, we even got the engine mounted. But we ended the week staring at a list that felt impossible. 7 days left, no sleep, and everything is still fighting us. Today we find out if this dream trip is actually happening or if this is where it all falls apart. Today, we have to get going because we have 6.5 days left of our 2-week schedule to get all of these parts installed in there. We have the engine mounts made, the transmission mount made, but that's just about it. We have a ton of work left to do. We still gotta build bumpers, sliders, the whole nine. Get the engine running in the bay. We've never even heard it run. So, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I hope we get this done, dude.
I'm getting this front axle assembled for the final time. Just got the steering arms in. I'm gonna put the leaf springs on and then get the bushings in the leaf springs, get them bolted on. Then we're gonna get this under the truck and then get the tires on, and this will be the last time, hopefully, we put the axle on. Probably be taken off eventually for maintenance and stuff, but for now, we're gonna get it on.
First things first, we have to get the axles back under this thing and make it a roller again. We're waiting on a ton of parts from LC Engineering, but in the meantime, we have a ton of suspension work to do. We need to build bumpers and sliders for this thing, so we have plenty to do. But right now, we're gonna make this thing a roller and just start moving forward from there. We have a fuel system that finally came in the mail. We have body mounts that came in the mail. There's a ton of stuff, a ton of random little things. Too much to explain all at once. We're just gonna get after it. I suppose it may go with the clamp, yeah? You bolt it down, it'll just get all stuck up in there.
Yeah.
Last week, we started the IFS hub swap off of the earlier gen pickup where we machined down the hubs and now we have a wider stance in order to finish that with our bigger brakes and vented brakes, because before we had solid rotors and now we have vented rotors that Alex is putting on now, which slip on. In order to do all this, we need to tap our calipers. So we're gonna tap these super square, super right the first time, because you only get one shot. And then once they're tapped, we have the new bolts. We'll bolt them on and this will be a slip-on rotor situation with nice upgraded bigger brakes.
And I'll be his eyes and his ears on the tap.
I may have already done this once. It may have been crooked.
Yeah, it's because it moved.
All right, so after a quick session at the lathe, made some more chips and now our brake rotor fits back over. Good to go. Alex has those drilled out, ready to accept the new calipers, which we had to tap, and we also clearance them a little bit right there. So they've been modified. We'll get these assembled, bolted on, and the front axle is done, dusted. We just need brake lines, which we have the soft line from Sky's Offroad Design. The hard lines will be coming from either somewhere in my parts stash or the parts store, and we'll bend them up. So get these brakes on, and then this thing should be back on its own axles. Yeah, money.
I like it.
The bumper makes a big difference. We haven't done that with the bumper on.
She's sitting pretty.
We're gonna have to cut all of this, I think. Right now we are focusing on getting the steering column attached to the steering box. The stock Chinook had a steering mount or steering box way over here, which is why there's room over there. And why we had to cut room over here for a steering box, it's over here. We have this U-joint, this rag joint, and this steering shaft off of another truck. I think this is off of like a 93 pickup that we use parts from. Anyway, we're gonna try and hopefully have this go in there and this bolt up to here, and maybe or maybe not need this U-joint. We're just gonna start playing with things, cutting it apart and making it happen. All right, you guys, do not forget, we have merch on the website, new designs. We got the 4Runner on a freaking t-shirt. We got women's hoodies. We got freaking men's zip-ups. We got sandstone hoodies. We're getting colors in here. And if you spend $25, we're throwing in a t-shirt. So that's pretty rad. Every order over 25 bucks gets a free t-shirt. Don't forget, heavyweight. These things are freaking awesome. But yeah, I just wanna let you guys know, it really means the world that you're supporting me. We got stickers too, if you want to sticker slap your friend's car. Peace.
I am gonna work on getting the hydraulics replaced because the ones in that one are shot. This is our old brake booster from our donor car. We have a brand new clutch master cylinder right here, and we're gonna work on getting those installed right now.
Weld this to that, to a rag joint, to a U-joint rag joint, but I think it'll work. Get just a U-joint over there and go straight shaft into the steering box. Good to go?
Good to go.
Cool, that's out of a 93.
I'm gonna put the clutch in first because it's gonna be easier, but I just wanna make sure this will fit. Let me go check the connection over here. All right, guys, so I got the brake booster out and the clutch master cylinder out, the old ones. And turns out that a 77 Chinook will fit a 93 pickup brake booster perfectly. The clutch master right here, we're having a little bit of issue with it. The mounting holes are sideways. The other ones were perfectly parallel. So what we're gonna have to do is center mark those and then drill them out and get it mounted.
So I'll just sand that down. You can slide it way in and re-weld it. So after much thought and consideration, we're gonna go ahead and notch out the existing rag joint coupler on the truck side of things so that we can fit this slightly larger rag joint in there. Then this steering shaft spline joint will spline in, maybe. There we go. That'll spline in there. We're actually gonna have to shorten this and we're gonna have to shorten this. So we'll get that all cut down to where it needs to be. And then this will go straight onto our steering box. And this combo should provide us steering for the Chinook Slick. So I'm gonna get it cut down, start welding it back together, get it to the right length. We bolted the clutch master in and the firewall was thin and it ripped right through the firewall. So we're gonna build a clutch master backing plate. I didn't do this, these guys did it, look at them.
We did it.
Also, that's Daniel, my other buddy. He used to work here and now he's just a friend. We're gonna get this sorted if it kills us. But yeah, we'll go ahead, pull all that, get the clutch pedal pulled completely, build a nice backing plate for this new master, and it'll be good to go so that we can stomp on it as hard as we need. Rag joint fits, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem.
But it came close. All right, we got this here, boom. This here, boom. We're gonna weld on splines on the very end of this.
Try it, see if it limits.
And I think we have a situation that should work. So we'll cut off a little ½ inch more. You wanna see it, Alex?
What?
Look, dude.
Wow.
So now we have a bunch of area for welding. We'll build up some weld, have our shaft, be able to bolt it in, and we're done here. Good as new. We have our steering shaft. Hopefully it fits. This might just be the right length. I tried to do that. You can hold it though. Turn it 90 degrees, other way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right there. All right, I need to cut. I'm gonna start with a ½ inch. Oh, dude, this is it. So now that the steering's done, Alex is just about done with that. I guess I'll go look at the list. It's that time. I've run out of things to do since my package did not get here. So we're building front bumper, sliders, rear bumper, the whole nine. Saturday, it's already afternoon, I'm not gonna lie. But hopefully we can get this all done before Monday when the package gets here. We got our, of course, to start it with, our Warn Xeon XD12S. Now this is a gnarly winch and there's a lot of pulling power in this. So for this little rig, it should be plenty fine. We'll probably end up putting this on our Sunraider when we get the camper built out on this and switch this out for like a 10K. But for right now, this is what we got. One and only, the Warn winch. All right, it's time. Winch plate things. Start by just building the winch plate that bolts onto this front cross member, make that super solid, then we'll start throwing tube and building the bumper off of that. This is my wife's 2004 V8 4Runner. This thing had awful headlights, but today's video sponsor, Lasfit, has changed that completely. And today we're gonna give these awesome headlights that are in here the housings they deserve, and we're gonna get these crappy housings changed out. We have the LS Plus series in this thing. They also have a Pro Series, which is custom designed for certain vehicles. The installation of these headlights is insanely easy, and you absolutely do not have to pull the headlight housings off. We're doing this now because obviously this is what we're dealing with new, and this is questionable amount of years old. We're always going off on some crazy adventure late at night in the dark, so having bright headlights is absolutely a must for us. Lasfit made it so easy. We literally installed this in about 5 minutes in the middle of the woods. Just take your stock headlight out, put the new headlight bulb in, make sure you have it oriented the right way, and boom, you have your headlights installed. I'll show you right now what the stock headlights look next to a set of Lasfits. Oh my goodness. And then let's see the high beam difference. There's quite the difference here. All right, now that it's nighttime, I can show you guys how ridiculously bright these headlights are. Yeah, these are just the low beams. Those are the high beams. It is insanely bright. It lights up not only the whole yard, but it just lights up the entire neighborhood. And of course, we not only have them in the Corolla, the 4Runner, but we also have them in the Tundra. And even here, they are ridiculously bright. I have these in all of my vehicles because Lasfit keeps me safe. All right, if none of that convinced you, maybe this will. You can head over to lasfit.com, use the link in the description, and if you use my code LAE20, you can save yourself a ton of money on some of the brightest headlights on the market. Again, that's code LAE20, lasfit.com. You can use the link in the description. All of this not only gets you some amazing headlights, but it helps the channel out, helps us grow. Thank you so much to Lasfit for sponsoring today's video. We've got a freaking rock crawler to build. So first thing for this bumper, we're just basically gonna build a plate that sits on top of this that's big enough to catch the entire winch and also make a fairlead holder. I don't know what you'd even call that, the fairlead. I don't know, yeah, the thing that holds the fairlead on front of the winch. I don't know. We'll make a little up flat and up this. We'll bolt it not only to this plate, but to this plate. And we're gonna make all of this out of 1/4 inch. So it should be super beefy. And yeah, it's a great foundation for the entire front bumper.
Now that I got the brake booster and clutch master cylinder installed, I'm gonna be working on the fuel lines. We got AN lines right here and AN fittings. This will be for the sending, and for the return, we're just gonna run a soft line. So I'm gonna get working on that now.
Our little wings out, and it'll be super strong. That's not going anywhere. All right, yeah, see if that bolts on, Daniel. Yeah, so we'll just take it, and if you want to burb it, so the holes need to be wider, right? So yeah, just burb it, all of them. If you just hit all 4 of them, it'll just evenly distribute it real easy. Beep, 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 beep. Eye protection. Don't forget, young Padawan. Dang, I did it right this time. We got our winch plate on here. We got the sides cut out, the back, the bottom. This should be pretty strong and stout. We're gonna bolt it 6 times to this upright plate, 2 big times to this bottom cross member, and all that together this should be plenty enough to hang this whole rig from a tree, let alone the 12,000 pound winch. So what we're gonna do now is transfer over these 6 holes, 2 in the bottom, add 2 holes there, get all of those holes drilled, bolt the winch plate to the rig, and then we can start playing with bumper ideas. That's what it's gonna look like with the winch there. We're gonna just start like we usually do, maybe with a top bar. I'm not sure. I really, really, really like the design of the bumper on Matt and Stacy's Chinook, Toyota World Runners. If you guys don't know them, Matt and Stacy, super awesome people, hung out with them a couple times, and they traversed the entire Pan American Highway in their Chinook from Canada to the southern tip of Argentina, which is crazy. Their story's awesome. It's on YouTube. Unfortunately, they were taken from us a little early in a pretty tragic accident. But anyway, I may style the front bumper after theirs, which was built by West Can Overland. Really cool dude, Jason. And I asked him if I could. He said, yeah. I'm gonna just start throwing tubes at this thing and see what feels right and see what looks right, but it may have a flair of Matt and Stacy's bumper. I think it's a really cool bumper, a really cool design, and yeah, it just follows these lines of the grill that's so nice that it's kind of hard to deny. Anywho, yeah, we get this thing bolted on, and then we'll get the tube bender out and start bending tube. I'm excited to get back on the Rogue Fab bender. It's been a minute. So we're gonna have to trim up this grill a little bit to get the winch where it needs to be. So I'm marking the grill, and we will take a cutting device of some sort and notch it and get the winch back where it needs to be so we can build the bumper, the initial bumper wangs out, because we're doing something cool, I hope. Dude, how sick if we can keep the whole valence. All right, we got the valence on this thing. It looks pretty sick. Again, I kind of want to just do this, but we're gonna build a bumper. We're gonna start just throwing tube at this thing. Gonna come out of here, do a bend here, do a bend there. It's, you know, easier to show than to explain. winch is in the correct location. The tube is where I want it, except for we're like a ½ inch off of this. In order to get where we want to go, I'm gonna have to trim the end of the side plate down so we can scoot the tube backwards and dial the tube just into the very corner of this. And yeah, it is what it is. All right, we have this top bar bent and I'm not sure I love it. I think I want to get this tube tied up against or maybe even under the fender. I think we're gonna end up cutting the fender and the valence here. I'm not sure if there's another solution that I am fond of. It just kind of is what it is. Just not looking like what I want it to look like. So I think I'm gonna go ahead, bend up another one, make it about 2.5 inches narrower. Before I go crazy and make a whole new piece, I'm gonna cut 1.5 inches out of this piece, maybe 2 inches. I'll sleeve it and I'll see what it looks like before I just make a whole new one. Bumper is on. It looks really good. I like it. So it's like that 1.75 inch more narrow and it looks really good. The one thing I do not like and I cannot change without completely redoing this is that seam. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna redo this piece. I'm gonna get the seam out of there. It's just gonna bother me and I want this done right. I want it done the way I want it done. So we're gonna completely speed run this bumper. We're gonna get this top piece rebent. We're gonna do a couple tubes. They're gonna come from here to there, here to there. We're gonna do one off the side here, up to there, and the front bumper structure will be done. End of Saturday night, and unfortunately, I did not get quite enough done, and at least that I was hoping. Front bumper is pretty much done. Also, we made it a hybrid. I think we're gonna plate the top of this too. Leave a little cavity for that, leave the worn thing sticking out the top, but make big old fat plate for the top. I think it looks sick. Tomorrow, we will definitely get sliders and hopefully a great start on the rear bumper. Maybe finish the rear bumper too. Gonna be optimistic. We gotta start getting ahead of things so that we can slow down a little bit. This has been crazy, but we are rocking and rolling and this is moving along just good. Hopefully, I don't know, that's crazy. I have no clue we're gonna be able to do this. We have 5 days and this is where we're at. We haven't even gotten any of our parts from LC Engineering. I stayed up really late, like midnight late, and we got a bumper done, added some plate to it. I think it gives it some character. Gonna wait to weld that out till I'm ready to weld everything out. And this morning we are getting right started on rock sliders. I'm gonna have to design these ones just a little differently than what I normally do because the massive kick out for the shell, but it is what it is. It's gonna be cool. I think they're gonna look sick. Alex is gonna get started putting rear shocks on this thing, getting the rear shackle hangers moved another inch forward. We now moved them like 2.5 inches forward, but that's why you tack things till you're done. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully get the sliders, the complete rear suspension, including shocks, maybe the front shocks and the rear bumper all done today on Sunday, because we leave for Moab next Thursday afternoon, evening, Monday morning, or Friday morning, super early. The likelihood of us making it, I would say, is like 50-50 right now. Yeah. It's, we have a lot of stuff to do. The engine still's never run. The wiring, we've never checked. The ECU, don't even have it. It's in Albuquerque, headed this way in the mail. So yeah, there's a lot to get done, but we're gonna get started. It's already 10:45, late start today, again. But stayed up till midnight and I'll probably do it again. Time for rock sliders. We're making these bad boys about yay long because we need to account for massive tires, front and back. What do we got to the tires? We got 81, these are 35s. I need 2.5 inch more just for 40s per tire, so that's 76. Plus like 2 inches, 74, plus like 4 inches. We'll make them 70. So we have a couple inches for the tire situation. 70-inch sliders. I'm gonna go cut the square stock to 70 inches, mock it up there, and measure how far out we want this one compared to this one, because the tube out here is definitely gonna be a lot narrower than the tube back here.
on getting this rear shock mount from Sky's Offroad installed on the rear end so we can get our rear shocks installed. Right now I just trimmed it and I'm getting it sanded down so it fits perfectly, and then I'll get the mounts installed on the rear axle so we can see where everything fits and then get everything tacked in.
Got our inner slider rail sitting here on the table, and I have a scrap 45 that we have from another bend that we messed up. We have it here. I want the outside of this rear slider to be 9 inches wide at this location. So I get to mock this up, kind of mark where here the bend's gonna start. And then instead of going back in at the rear, we're gonna kick it out. So right about here, I'm gonna start a 20-degree bend outward. And I think it's gonna complement the body lines of the Chinook really well. And I think it's gonna protect the fiberglass as good as we can without hopefully getting us hung up and without getting us body damage. 2 things you have to take into account. This 45 joint right here will more than likely get us hung up, and I'll probably put a tube from the outermost of this 45 over even more to make this a really gradual run up, because I've found with the kickouts on the first gen 4Runner that 45 jar there, when you're sliding against a rock, it hits that and then you're just kind of like beached like a whale. So if it was a much more gradual slider, I think you might be able to get away with you know, more kick out like this, because we literally are seeing, I'm only bringing this tube out 4 inches, which is, I was gonna go 3, but with a 9-inch kick out back here, I think 4 is just gonna make for a better gradual section here that's gonna get us hung up. We'll see. That's why we got a 12K winch. We'll just drag right through it. That's the plan. I'm sticking to it. We'll get this bar bent up, get it kind of tacked on here, back under there, and see what we're gonna do about the situation. For the first time in almost a year, we have new merch. We got zip up hoodies that are super rad. We have tie-dye women's hoodies, Need Money for Rock Crawler. They're adorable. Women, buy yourself something nice. We got the Need Money for Old Yodas men's zip up just like this. We have the built not bought 85 Toyota 4Runner with the teal on the front. This is super rad. We have the Old Yodas Never Die hoodie. This is a pullover. Need Money for Old Yodas, Need Money for Rock Crawler. And if you spend 25 bucks, we're giving these away with every single order over $25. Stickers, hats, it's all on the website, efwfab.com. Thank you so much for your continued support. Let's get back to it.
So the frame where I'm putting the bracket for the shock mount in the rear end is a little weak, so we're gonna build some frame plates to stiffen it up a little bit before we put the shock mount in, just to make it a little bit safer. We don't want no breakage.
Dang, look at that rock slider, folks. We did it. It's done. I'll weld this together just like this. Little gap here, small gap there. No one will ever know, dude. We'll keep all the rocks away. We'll get this all cut down, fit up, and looking good. See what it looks like on the truck. Sad that one's not a 45, but it is what it is. Ta-da! We did it. I think they look pretty sick. Hopefully this isn't too drastic of an angle. If it is, again, we'll put something there. I think they look good. It almost looks like they're short in the front, but that's because we're gonna put 40s on this, and that's where they have to be for 40s. It's just what it is. So yeah, I think it looks sick. I'm very stoked with the direction this is going. What I'm gonna do now is completely assemble both sliders, get them all both welded out, and once they are fully welded out, we'll go about making all the mounts to the frame. We'll get those welded on, and we'll get the sliders painted, because you wanna paint your sliders before you weld them on, because then you don't have to weld around your body, which is the way to go. And then hopefully we'll have plenty of time for the rear bumper today.
Okay guys, so these are our shock mounts for our rear axle. They'll weld onto the rear axle like that. The shock will come down and connect like this. Nice little design. Patrick's help.
Yeah, but who designed it?
I did.
Dang,
I did
dude.
The designing.
He even did the cutting and fusion and
yeah,
everything.
did it.
He designed his own first part. Looking fan-diddly-tastic.
Weld these out completely. clean up some paint, get them tacked in and see if we like them, and then mount the shock, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, found it. So ready, dude? So ready to catch this thing? Up a little bit. Oh, dude.
You like that?
Shocking.
You like that?
Dude, it's shocking.
It is shocking.
It's crazy.
Nice.
It's dampening not much because it's all angled and stuff, but hey, it's better.
Yeah.
That's what we got. This is a big old 12-inch shock, dude. We have no articulation loss in this thing.
No.
She's gonna flex out.
Oh, for sure.
It's a shock. I'm shocked. All right, first thing we need to do to get those rock sliders on this Chinook is come over here and prep the frame. We got 1, 2, 3, and like 4 locations that we're gonna prep. And eventually we're also gonna come around this body mount to that front frame reinforcement. So that entire plated frame back there and all of this is kind of just extremely reinforced, and maybe this little cab section here won't twist apart too bad, because more than likely we're gonna see some breakage on that when we're in Moab, but time will tell. I don't know, it could be really, really bad. So we'll try and keep that to a minimum by reinforcing the crap out of that frame. Look at that thing, dude. How's it looking under there, Alex?
Good. I'm just moving these shackle mounts forward 1 inch.
Again?
Yeah, for the last time, hopefully.
Yeah, last time, I swear.
I just got them cut out, cleaned up. They're right here. And I just marked out my lines, so I'm gonna get them tacked in, and then we'll put them there and see if we like them.
Sick. Just like that, we have a freaking rock slider attached. So still have to do the same thing on the other side, but I'll show you how we attached it. I mean, pretty basic, same thing as we did on the last rock sliders. Just some 2x2 tube up to the frame, 1, 2, 3, and here in the back for the 4th one, it like goes up. This is cool. We have a bunch of opportunity to triangulate this and just do a bunch more. Oh, I forgot that is barely hanging on with like barely 1 tack. But it gives us a bunch more opportunity to go from here up to the frame and triangulate it. Dang, I almost ripped off that rock slider. It's hanging down a lot right now. You can see the big gap because I barely tacked it in. It's just chilling there. But anyway, we now need to do the same thing on the other side. And once we get that done, we're gonna pull them off, weld them up, paint those. I'm gonna pull the front bumper off, weld that out, and get that painted. And I'm gonna call that for my night. And then the bumper sliders will be done. We'll weld on the sliders tomorrow, and the bumper can be bolted on whenever. And then all we need to do is build that freaking rear bumper. It's the end of Sunday right now. It is Sunday, 9:15 p.m. A lot to do on this Sunday evening, and even more to do before we are supposed to drive this thing to Moab, Utah in like 4 days. Yeah, buddy, we have the bumper welded. The sliders are welded, and we have the spray paint out. I would like to point something out, you know. It is 12:02. But yeah, obviously the push is real. It's just me up yet again, because I'm very hard-headed and maybe an idiot, but we're gonna go ahead and get these sliders at least painted. The bumper we can paint tomorrow, but I wanna get the sliders welded on tomorrow, so I wanna get the paint on tonight, so it's dry for tomorrow, so we can get them welded on, and they're done. We don't have to think about it. So let's get these sliders painted. All right, it is Monday morning, and we are now only 4 days until we leave. And to be honest, it is Monday at 2:45 in the afternoon. We had a big Monday morning fiasco. This is basically my life every day, it's seeming like, but we're here now. We have the transmission back in. I needed some measurements for Adam's drive shaft, so we put that in, put it where it needs to go. We got the measurements, that's awesome. Sliders are done, they're welded outside. Front bumper is done and welded. That's all being painted, it's drying still. Now we need to get onto the rear bumper. That is a whole thing in itself. We're gonna go very minimalistic. It's just gonna be basically a tube, and we're gonna have a little step too. That's gonna be rad. But basically, super low profile tube, forward, over, back, that's it. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. A ton of mounting points to the frame, so that hopefully when, not if, but when we drag this booty up a whole bunch of stuff, the fiberglass stays intact. That's the goal for today. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get under there and show you what we got to do. Ton of reinforcing, ton of custom fab per usual, but hopefully by the end of tonight, we'll have a rear bumper done and painted and possibly sliders on.
Let's go.
That's the goal. Also, Alex has a normal job. I don't know if I told you guys that. We are doing this build series together, but when you see me out here at like 1 in the morning, it's because Alex has to sleep and wake up at a normal time so he can do normal job stuff.
Yep.
So if you don't see him in all the clips, that's where he's at. He is here all the time. It's just he has a normal job. Anyway, also, quick one. Woo! We got new merch on the website. Check it out. You probably already saw a merch plug, but this is the first shirt from the new merch that I'm wearing. And I know, I'm rocking it. Collar, pop. I don't even have a collar, but check it out on the website. Hats, shirts, sweatshirts, beanies, all sorts of good stuff. Get it.
Looking good, guys.
All right, so first thing we need to do to start this bumper is get something to attach to. We're basically gonna put a ton of tubes under this back area so that when we smash it on something, we're not gonna just smash the whole back area. So in order to have something to fasten to over here, we're gonna lop the end of the frame off and get a 2 by 8 inch piece of rectangle tube, and it's gonna come down off the back of the frame. We'll gusset it into the frame, and then we can attach the bumper all to that via some bolt-on situations. So that's the plan right now, is get the end of the frame cut off and get that piece of 2 by 8 welded in, and then we can start thinking about how we're gonna fasten everything to that piece of 2 by 8. So right here is where the rearmost body mount used to lie before I cut it off. We went ahead and cut that thing off because we're gonna make a big old plate that ties into this big rear frame rail that we're putting in, and also goes up on this frame forward 8 to 10 inches, so we can do a big fat weld on there and it disperses all that load throughout the frame. So that's the plan, and we're gonna get to it. All right, so we have this little gusset cut out, and what it does is it actually caps the end of this tube, as well as lets all of this be a weld surface here on the frame. So not only does it make it easier to weld this thing to the frame, but it's just gonna make everything all around better, I think. So we'll cut out one more of these, get them both prepped and welded to this, and then we can just simply set that up there, weld it in place, and I'll probably do 1 or 2 more little reinforcement gussets eventually, but for now I think that should be pretty good. Oh boy, our packages are here. We've been waiting like 8 days for these. It feels like eternity because it's been a long 8 days, but we have stuff from LC Engineering, our boys, and all this is super crucial to get this thing on the road. So in the first box we have, I know what this is, we have exhaust, we got our long tubes,
Headers.
we got our O2 sensor pipe, and all the stuff to install that. So we only need a muffler and a little bit more pipe, and our whole exhaust system is done, which is awesome. These headers are known to give you quite a bit of low end power, which is what we need for our rock crawler. Next, we have a flywheel. We got a nice heavy duty clutch for this thing because it's big, heavy, and a rock crawler. Last, but very much not least, we got the box of the goods. We have goods here, folks, and I mean goods. We got tune-up stuff. We got a timing kit. We got spark plug cable sets. We have filters for everything. There is everything we need to bring this thing back to life. Seals, all of it. And, of course, you already know, had to get an LC Engineering valve cover on this thing. Got to show the people where to get the goods. So we'll go through all of this stuff when we get it installed, but yeah, needless to say, oh, I forgot, we got a cam for this thing. We got a camshaft in here. We have a whole rocker assembly in here, so this is gonna be rad. This thing should finally have the power that every 22RE needs, with the cam, the rockers, the exhaust, the clutch, the tune-up, everything you need to keep your 1977 Toyota Chinook or any other pickup truck from like early 70s till basically modern day alive is on LC Engineering's website. So huge shout out to the boys at LCE, and yeah, let's finish this rear bumper. Yeah, I love meal time. Woo!
Yeah, let's get it.
That's gonna be good. How's yours look?
Looks nice.
Way better than I thought. So cool, we'll take it down, weld it. All right, so we have our new rear cross member in here, and it's actually not even, like with the Chevy 63s, it's not hindering us at all. What this is gonna allow us to do, we're gonna have a big fat 1/4 inch plate that bolts to this, and that's what we'll weld all our tubes that are coming back off of. And then we'll have some gussets here on the sides. We'll have bolt plates to that. And then we're also gonna do bolt points over here to the frame. We actually might skip the gusset one because it's sounding a lot overkill now that I'm saying it out loud. But we're definitely gonna have this thing super stout and very, very, very strong because it will take some hits. So on that note, Alex is gonna go design some stuff on CAD. I am going to go ahead, start getting this ready to weld in, and we are going to make some bumper action.
Yes, we are.
Not even move an inch. Your dog moved 10 times more than you.
I don't
and your dog is so confused.
I don't scare funny.
I'm gonna show the people our sweet new cross member. Check it out. That is beefcake. So we're just gonna, I was gonna bolt everything on, but we're done. We're doing rock crawler things. Rock crawlers have welded on bumpers. They're not bumpers, they're just part of the rock crawler. Same goes for this. So we're gonna bend this to 86 degrees to make sure we don't overbend it. And if we need another degree, we'll put it back in and we'll mark the other bend, get the initial boom, 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 notched and, or bent and in place. And then we'll just start attaching. This one should hopefully go quick.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Wow, it's gonna bend it up to the moon. Oh, isn't that so nice? All right, hey, we go down. How you looking?
Looks pretty good.
I'm looking real good. All right, and then we're just gonna do 12 to 10 or 13 degrees of a little. Oh, the reason that we're using a floor jack on our bender is because of the way things are for this one. I think that's just what we got. I don't even know if it's gonna get enough.
It's sliding.
It's gonna slide. Let's lock those back casters. Dude, we need a lot.
Yeah, it needs to like go on top of this.
That is a brilliant plan.
Ready?
Yep.
Got one wheel on?
Oh God, we should have locked that. That was not the move.
Okay.
Ow. Hang on. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, go over there. Go. Or, I don't know.
Ready?
Okay.
Woo. Lock it down.
Lock it down. Oh my goodness, dude, I thought we lost it.
Dude, that was so scary.
I was like on my toolbox, we're losing my tubing bender. Like, how am I gonna explain that to people? I dropped my tubing bender on my toolbox.
Us and our bright ideas, bro.
So Harbor Freight, about that extended warranty. You're never gonna believe what happened. The darndest thing. Yeah, dude, look at that. That's what it all, that's everything was for.
Yep.
That right there. Down, wiggle around. Wow, is that a world records for the biggest waste of time ever done?
No.
Because it's gonna look cool.
We know that 2 men can lift that.
It's gonna look cool.
At least 2 men, we know 2 men can lift your
Jiggle,
tube bender now.
jiggle, wiggle.
Oh, that was
Dude, you're so strong. It is beautiful. We're more than likely gonna chop off those bends that we got the hole. I should have pulled it about 2 more inches back. We're done. It's exactly where I want it. So we're gonna get a couple bars coming off the frame to this bumper, and then we're just gonna really reinforce the crap out of it. We're gonna make 4 or 5 plates. They're gonna come here, weld into this entire 3 inches, come all the way out, and then wrap this tube out here. We'll have 5, and then we'll put tabs on the bottom of those, and we'll be able to put a skid plate on this. It's gonna just make the back of this bomb-proof. We're gonna add some weight, an extra 40 to 50 pounds, but I think it's well worth it for what we're doing here. So we're building a freaking rock crawler. It's gonna smash on a bunch of rocks, so we need this to be strong.
This back end's gonna drag.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. All right, this is my solution here. We have a 15-degree bend in here. Just goes right in here. So we're gonna do the same thing with this one. We already notched it. We'll go ahead and bend it, get it cut to length, and we'll have both of our support tubes in. Look how goofy I look right now. Alex is over there getting the support designed up. He's just making sure it's super perfect. It's really strong, only I went full dummy and I welded on these outer ones, definitely where the tire is gonna just come up and hit it. So I welded it out completely too. I was just gonna paint it on the truck. So we're gonna make 2 more, bring them back about 6 inches where they should be. I don't know what I was thinking. I was very excited, I guess. The whole little 10-degree bend that I fought it for today is no more. And it's 8:45. Where does the day go? It really is Monday night, and we really are supposed to leave Thursday. I mean, this is not a joke.
Get it all cleaned up.
That's not too heavy.
No, it's not horrible.
I know, it's pretty beefcake. Okay, you looking good?
Yeah.
Use your head. How are you on the front? You're pretty good. All right, cool, let's go down. Since we're in the weld stuff to the frame mood, figure we just weld these to the frame while we're here. Next, we'll be able to put a couple more bars in this little corner where we're lacking some stuff, maybe just 1, and then 2 more gussets, and the rear bumper's done.
Dude, she's gonna flex so
Dude, I'm leg pressing my truck. This is it. This is what I gotta do every day.
Yep.
Since we have engine parts in, we are gonna get this engine back on a stand so that we can put all of our LCE goodies on it. We have oil pan that we need to do right away. That's not from LCE, just gonna use RTV, but we're gonna check the rod bearings because we don't wanna do all the work to this and have like a rod knock. So we'll just pull the pan, give it a gander, and proceed from there. That's really, really tight. It's gonna probably puke out a little bit of fluid. I got this side. All right, yep. This is my presentation about why my Chinook gets a Widowada. A, this space is empty. B, it's gonna look really cool. So in the incident or case that I do run into something, maybe I hit the ladder instead of the fiberglass. So we did all the math on what we need for this Widowada. The only problem is I do believe it might not work just the way the bender is. We might have to 2-piece this this piece, but we'll try it. All right, well now that we have the ladder shape built, we need to put a small bend on the bottom because the bumper's a little close to the cab. It'll just put the ladder in closer to the cab a couple inches. I think it's freaking rad. What do you think, Jenna? Is it cool?
I didn't say the little ladder was lame. Oh! All I said was we have 2 days to finish, and the engine isn't even in the bay.
Look how black my face is.
And they should working on getting the engine in the bay before working on a widow ladder. But
I have friends for engine work. Fabricator Patrick. This shit out.
Widow Wada?
Yeah, dude, I think it's sick. Which cylinder was seized? The rear
This
one?
one. There's a little rusty right
No,
there.
it's the rear one that was seized.
Was it?
Yeah. So spin the engine. Look at that rust on the cylinder wall. Yeah, that's the one. Look at all that rust. So we'll pull off this pickup and brake clean it out, and we'll just wipe as much of this rust that we can get out of it.
That's what I was thinking too.
Even down here, like this is rust there, it's sitting in the cylinder and just dripping down. So that's why there's rust formed right there. So it's probably gonna be down a little bit on power, but I think it'll run just fine. I bet compression's pretty low in the cylinder. And this is not the way that you're supposed to condition your cylinder walls with a metal pick. Not the thing to do, but I think getting all of that crud off the side of the cylinder walls will maybe make it run better. We're washing the walls. They're just normally washing oil off the cylinder walls. All right, yeah, let's clean it up. I'm gonna run it. I know I said that if we find anything tragic, maybe we'll use another engine, but that's not tragic enough for me. What about you boys?
I think that's fine.
Yep.
Extra RTV on this because the oil pan had a hole at one point, I can show you, and it's a little wonky, so the holes are a little off, so we're adding a little bit of extra RTV just so we can make sure we have those.
So we got the oil pan back on. The rod bearings look okay. Cylinder walls don't look the best, but we're gonna send it because this is what we're doing. This is where we're at. Now we're coming over to our beautiful pile of LC Engineering parts. We just need to start chipping away. Most of this is actually like outside the actual engine, other than the cam and the lifters. On the cam and lifter note, I think because this engine's full of so much crap, we're gonna wait to put the cam and lifters in this till we run an oil change through this, get everything inside of it out so we don't just score up this brand new crawler cam. So we'll probably pass on putting this in for this trip because I'd hate to put this in, have some of that rust get picked up in the oil pickup, go into the oil galley and just completely roach our cam.
That makes sense.
So off with the valve cover, on goes the new valve cover, off with the exhaust, pull the intake off. We need to reseal the injector O-rings. We need to put as many gaskets as we can possibly fit on this engine, front main seal, rear main seal, clutch, all this stuff. Are you seeing this Widowata? Because it looks primo. Before we weld this on, we're gonna tape off the ends and we're gonna paint it all black so we don't have to tape off the whole camper and paint the whole thing black. And then we can just get the bottom. I mean,
It's pretty close actually.
I'm gonna just send it there, dude.
Yeah.
It has a little kick out.
Yeah.
It doesn't look super weird because it's got a bend that you barely even see. People who know will be like, well, that was a lot of work for a bend. And I'll be like, you're dang right it was. And we have it. It's so crazy the tire's gonna flex inside of this. All right, so we were talking about movies growing up, and I didn't really watch a whole lot of movies growing up. My wife gets upset about it all the time. But we were curious how many people would be upset if I said the words, I've never watched Joe Dirt. I've never done it. That's a movie I've never watched. Or Forrest Gump. That's another one.
What?
I've never watched.
How have you never seen that?
I know the reference, Forrest, obviously, but I've never watched Forrest Gump or Joe Dirt or any of the
So
Star
you
Wars.
don't know who Bubba Gump Shrimp is?
No. Or Star Wars, Star Trek, or any of the Star movies either. Or the other.
I'm okay with that. That's okay.
Yeah, that's so. If you are upset by any of that and feel the need to unsubscribe, let me know in the comments, and I'll see it in my analytics. Alright, the time is now. We have the freaking skid plate painted with alloy armor. We have the whole under painted with weld through alloy armor. So you're gonna see us struggle to get that up and weld it in. Dude, watch the cover, bro. Dude, dang. Look at this billet valve cover hardware. We got this billet valve, billet oil fill cap, billet half moons, all the billet, dude. The powder coated valve cover. This thing looks like a race car. No one's even gonna know that it probably has rust on the cylinders. That's probably gonna make all sorts of blow by and compression loss.
It's pretty crusty, guys. Look at that. Yep.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, I'm welding this. All right, so we are doing everything in our power. By the way, it is Tuesday, about 8 p.m. We were not able to get injector seals. We were not able to get a starter. There's a couple things that we just don't have. The starter we could actually take from my 4Runner, but since we can't have injector seals delivered, we cannot do anything until tomorrow at 1 p.m. But we want to be as ready as possible. Oh, it's so bad. This is not what you do. You know what? We're putting a timing cover on this next time. Everything on the ground because it's now 10:12 and we're all tired and it's time for a good night's rest tonight because our injector little cup things on the end of the injectors are cooked, and so we're gonna try and source some in town tomorrow, which is not hopeful. So I bought whole injectors on Amazon because that's the fastest way I can get the little cup things for actually cheaper than you can get injector rebuild kits for. So
Oh my gosh.
we're finally doing the most important part of this whole thing, which is the clutch. It might not be the most important part, but it's one of the most important parts because it transfers the power from the engine to the rest of the vehicle. Without the clutch, you don't have, well, much of anything. We're going to go ahead and pull this cover off, do the rear main seal, which is right behind that. Once we have that done, we'll go ahead, put the new flywheel on. We have that from LC Engineering. We have their updated heavyweight flywheel. It's a 30-pound flywheel, great for off-road. Keeps the momentum of your engine without slowing down with all the friction. You know, the more rotating mass you have, the better it carries itself. So that's the idea behind these. Lots of torque. And we also have their off-road, low-range, heavy-duty clutch. So with both of these, we should be transferring power from this to that really easily. This is a gnarly flywheel. It's heavy. LC Engineering. The old bread trick. Last time I did this, I was in a parking lot in North Idaho getting ready to drive a Toyota pickup across the country after I did an engine swap in an AutoZone parking lot. Good video. Link is right here on this video. Check it out. It's really good. It was fun, wholesome time. I almost died a few times. It's good. Look at that bearing we built. We just built a bread bearing. Bet you if you put it in a skateboard, it'd be so good. Yeah. Boom. Never not been able to get because of red locks. All right. Done. Today is Wednesday. We have not heard the engine run. It's not super close to running. The suspension is not quite done. What we ran into last night after we got the engine into the bay is we used really old engine mounts to make our new engine mounts on the frame, so those do not fit anymore. The header that we got from LC Engineering, amazing header, probably would have made so much power, does not fit because these frame rails on the Hiluxes neck in a ton, so the header doesn't fit. So we need to build a new exhaust. We need to get the engine mounts modified. Alex is gonna finish painting the entire chassis, and we also are not gonna be able to hear this thing run today because our injectors have these little plastic things on them, buckets. I'm not sure what they are. They come off. They need replaced. They're all leaking bad. You cannot get these locally. So we ordered not only injectors, but we also ordered injector rebuild kits. So one of those will fix our issue. Also, drive shafts are in the mail. Adams drive shafts. I cannot speak highly enough. We gave those guys an insanely unrealistic project and they got it done. Head over to Adams Drive Shaft and give them a shout for me because, yeah, it's crazy.
Shout out to the boys.
Yeah, my local shop couldn't get it done. I called everyone, and Adams Drive Shaft is the people who could get it done. So that's awesome. What a crazy timeline to get that done in. We are going to get to work. I'm going to pull this engine out. He's going to get the bumper painted, and we'll recoup when the engine's back in and the bumper. Okay, things have taken probably the worst turn. We broke a tap off in this bolt hole. We need this bolt hole to seal the exhaust. Without it, we are nothing. So I have a solution. Yeah.
Fire.
Fire! Ah! Fire!
Fail after fail, dude.
since we have the engine out one more time, I'm gonna go ahead and take the liberty of installing our oil sandwich plate. And what this oil sandwich plate is for our gauges. Now, the factory Chinook gauge panel is lackluster, to say the least, just like all old Toyota gauge clusters. So we went ahead and we're installing our Just Race Parts gauges. These things are super sweet. We have the 3-in-1 coolant gauge, and then we have the oil pressure gauge. This 3-in-1 coolant gauge has a water temperature gauge, a water pressure gauge, and a coolant level gauge. So you have all three of these things protecting your engine, keeping the head gaskets in check. If you have a small coolant leak and you don't notice it, you're gonna see the pressure drop on this gauge, which you won't see with any other gauge that I know of, at least. 52 mil gauges, the standard gauges. So anyway, it's super slick. Their designs are super awesome, and we'll talk about them more later, but we're gonna get some stuff installed on the engine to get the gauges in there, like this oil sandwich plate. And then we also have this, which is the inline filter housing for their coolant sensor. So anyway, we'll go ahead and put that on later, but we will put the sandwich plate and the sensor on now. And that's easy. Alright, so right now what we're doing is removing the gas pedal, and it sounds counterintuitive to get this thing running, but this is a old school throttle linkage instead of a cable. Oh wow, we are hung up in the depths of the dash. Oh, I did it! And just like that, we have the multiple pieces of the throttle linkage system. So we have a bunch of little levers and doohickeys. Crap we do not need anymore. We're gonna get our throttle cable. Wop, wop. So I might not be able to finish this until the engine's in as well. It might be an intake on sort of situation. Because I need to know how much throw the throttle itself has to mount the bracket and do the thing. So, yep, we'll revisit this. Put this in with the rest of it. After this clip should be, I don't know. What you are seeing here is all of the wiring from a 1993 Toyota pickup truck. Now, it looks scary, but what we can do is we need to put all this in that truck. This is the engine wiring harness. We have to use every wire in here. That's all very self-explanatory. This is what we're left with. We can go through this and narrow it down and make it even less scary, and this is every wire we're gonna need to make this whole thing run. But what we have here, these are two very important plugs. The one is the ECU plug and the one is the body harness plug. So we are going to need these. On this, the fuse box, we will run just the entire fuse box, and we will also need our alternator starter harness. So this one, again, pretty self-explanatory. We don't need every single plug here, but we'll go ahead and just set it to the side because we will use basically the entire harness. And that leaves the dash harness. Now we don't have room for this many wires in the dash, so what we can do is, when I took it out, I cut some of the wires that I knew we wouldn't use. This is all from the stereo and the heater controls. This was from probably a brake switch that we're not gonna use. And then these are all instrument cluster wiring. So again, we're probably not gonna use these. I'm not gonna cut them out right now. These are just switches and stuff that we can cut out. But these, we may want the oil pressure or something, some of the other wiring. Probably not, but we might. So we'll leave those intact and try and thin this harness down to get it fit in that dash. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Just make sure I don't delete anything we need and delete everything we don't need and get this thinned out and ready to put in there. So hopefully we can hear this thing run tomorrow when our injector cups get in. Dang, dude. So we got the rest of our LCE dress up kit. Unfortunately, we can't use their header on this just because the frame is too narrow on the 77 frame. But what we can do is get their wire loom kit, their valve cover, everything here. So they sell on their website, and not only does it look sick, but it makes your old engine feel new again. But wait, why is there so much brake fluid on the ground?
I wonder who did that.
I will be. Wait, stop. Will you push that bell housing bolt back? Whoa. It's not gonna, yep. All right, now we can put everything together. Now it gets real, because the engine shouldn't have to come back out. thin steel goes dumped on this ship.
Okay, so the parents have left us unintended at the shop today. They might burn down, who knows? Actually, no, just kidding. Mike's gonna work on getting the brake lines installed to the calipers down here, and I am gonna work on getting the welds finished on the shackle mounts. So we're gonna get this thing on a lift to make it easier for our lives and go from there. Okay, I just got done welding the rear shackle hangers, all welded up. We just need to let that cool down and get everything all painted up, and that's the last paint we need on all of the armor that me and Patrick have built. We got Mike up here finishing up the brake lines, doing a great job. I will now be putting these 1-inch lift blocks under the leaf springs in the rear end. Whenever we put this thing down, because of all the armor that we put in this thing, it was sagging a little bit in the rear end, so with the 1-inch lift blocks, it should look a little bit better. Okay guys, so I got this first 1-inch lift plate in, and I think it looks good. I think it's gonna give us that little bit of height we needed that Patrick was looking for. I like it, I hope he likes it, and I hope you guys like it. Okay guys, so I am working on getting our temporary exhaust set up. Got a couple exhaust pieces here, and I'm just working on getting them. This is our quick temporary exhaust for now. I know it looks ugly, but it's not gonna leak, that's for sure.
So we've made some great progress on the wiring. We deleted all those wires, we've cut up a ton of these wires, and hopefully we haven't cut anything that we need. But in the spirit of finishing all the fabrication, Alex is down here getting the exhaust done, and I decided to jump on the front shocks. It's the last thing we need for the suspension to be done. So this is what we have going on. Over here, this would probably work great. It's awesome, no issues, it'd work. Unfortunately, over here, the same thing is not the case. We have this frame bin that's right in the way, as well as a steering box, and there's no way to get a great weld on it and have this be where it needs to be. So, like everything else, we're building it custom. Why is the exhaust coming back out?
Because it's still touching the body mount. I took a whole inch off of it.
You took a whole inch.
Look,
and it's still touching?
Yeah.
Well, what?
Hey,
how do you guys? No, dude. That's it. If it was touching the body mount, which is back here, and you cut it an inch that way.
I did.
How is it still touching the body mount?
I don't know, dude. Magic.
All right.
We got the exhaust all fitted up, and yes, we did MIG weld stainless steel with carbon steel wire, but this is just temporary. I know you guys will probably judge us for this. We weren't able to get our header in from LC Engineering, so this is the header off the 93 donor truck. So this is all just temporary, and as long as it doesn't leak, we're happy with it.
It looks so good. I'm gonna build the rest of the shock tower. All right, we have our new and improved and final revision of our shock tower ready to cut. It's also 11:04 p.m. Wednesday night. All right, here's the deal. It's Thursday. It's already Thursday, like 10:45, because Mike didn't even sleep last night. Me and Alex went to bed probably at 2:30 in the morning. Woke up pretty late. And while we were sleeping, Mike made it very apparent how much we still have to do. I'm not saying it's not possible, and I'm not saying we're not gonna give it hell trying to get it done. But what I am saying is we have no clue if this is gonna work. Obviously the list is massive. Obviously we don't even have injectors.
Engine hasn't even ran.
Not a clue if the seized engine will run. But we're optimistic. We're gonna get it done. On that note,
Look, read this.
yeah, look.
Thank you,
let's
Jenna.
have a good day.
That was Mike, not me.
We don't know what we do. Right? We don't know if we got this, but this video is probably already
Thank you,
way
Mike.
too long, and we're gonna just go ahead and catch you guys on the next one, where we hopefully get this thing running, driving, and drive it to Moab, Utah to have some of the funnest times we've had in 20 years together,
Yeah.
and see if we can build a rock crawler motorhome. So on that note, check this out. Check this out. We got these shirts on the website. These ones in black on the website. We got sick Need Money for Old Yodas on the website. We also have a rock crawler version. We have zip ups, we have pullovers, we have Old Yoda Never Die hoodies. We have a ton of merch on the website. You guys all honestly blow me away with your support. we also, you know, cannot say enough for you guys just watching the videos. So thank you so much, and hopefully we will see you next week in Moab, Utah with our rock crawling motorhome. Till next time, peace.